Is your car having issues going into reverse? Or could it be something else entirely? We're here to break it down with Joe from our transmission department so we can find out what's really going on under the hood of your car. My car hesitates before going into reverse, but eventually it goes into reverse. Is this a problem?
Typically, yeah. So, like, it depends on why.
What if it sometimes goes into reverse, but sometimes doesn't?
So, it still signifies that there's a problem inside, but it depends on temperature and fluid. So, say a drum cracked, okay, and it goes to apply the drum, and it's colder, fluid's thicker, it can apply it.
Okay.
As soon as it gets hot, it's thinner, so it finds that crack fast, and then it can't apply it. So that's where typically that kind of thing comes in.
Gotcha. Could this issue affect other gears later, even if it's only reverse causing issues now?
Yes, reverse in an automatic trans, you need some forward pack as well as the reverse pack to come on at the same time. Reverse locks the output to force it to go the other direction. So if that's not right and the other one is still working, you can cause issues over there because you're losing pressure and causing slip.
How quickly do I need to get this issue checked, and can I still go forward if reverse isn't working?
You want to get it checked out as soon as possible. I would, to get to where you have to go to get it fixed. Like, I wouldn't just continually drive it and forward without reverse, because you could eventually just leave yourself sitting and need to pay for a tow truck anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, if reverse goes and forward's working, absolutely use it to get to where you're going. But well, to a repair facility. But other than that, I wouldn't use it now.
Okay. Does the type of car, like manual versus automatic, make a difference in these type of issues?
If you have a manual and you have no reverse, something physically broke. With automatics, you have hydraulic pressure. They control the drums. You can lose pressure. You can be low in fluid. There's a lot of different reasons why you've lost reverse. Manual is, it's just, you're moving a shifter. It's pushing into that gear. If that's not happening, something is physically broken.
Okay.
So that's all mechanical.
Okay.
There's no hydraulics involved in that. It broke.
Okay. So we just mentioned manual versus transmission, but we do see quite a bit of automatic transmissions in the shop. So why aren't we seeing more manual transmissions?
Manual transmissions are getting phased out. I mean, as much as I like them, and a lot of car enthusiasts do, it's not your typical everyday that everybody wants to do anymore. They want to put it in drive and they just want to go. So that's why you're not going to see it nearly as much. And the emissions part of it is a lot different too. Automatics in today's cars, you got 10 speeds. And that means your RPM range stays where it needs to be and the emissions out the back is totally different. You can't regulate emissions on a manual. So typically everything's automatic anymore. You can save gas, they can regulate it. Manual is just for the enthusiast who still wants to do that.
How can I tell if it's a How can I tell if it's a shift linkage problem or if it's something more serious?
Shift linkage problems are quick to figure out. So if you get it, you try to move it out of park and it's real easy to move and it doesn't seem like the indicator is moving with it. It's no longer connected somewhere. If you try to move it and it's extremely hard to move, then there's probably water or moisture or whatever in it and it's corroded and filled up with something. We run into that a lot, especially in Pennsylvania. A lot of corrosion. Also too, if you say you put the shifter in drive and the indicator is just off a little and the trans don't seem to want to work right, that's because it relies on that to be aligned correctly. Maybe the cable is stretched. So generally, anything with the linkage, you're going to feel it almost immediately as soon as you try to take it out of park and know something is wrong.
If the transmission fluid is low, how quickly can that cause damage?
Depends on how low. If it's pretty low.
How low can you go?
Not very low before it gets rapid and ugly fast.
Can low transmission fluid only cause reverse to fail, or will it affect other gears too?
Typically not. Typically it's going to affect everything. A lot of transmissions, because you are commanding reverse, usually has higher pressure, so it can start to affect reverse first because it requires higher volume and pressure, but typically it's going to affect the whole trans.
Okay.
Keep wanting to do this.
Maybe you should just go like this. Come to me, Myles! Are there specific engine problems that can cause reverse to fail, or is it usually just transmission?
It's usually just transmission, yeah. An engine's not going to just specifically affect reverse, no.
Okay.
At least not that I've ever seen or read or learned about.
What kind of internal transmission damage specifically affects reverse?
Typically broken hard parts like sun shells, splines. Usually they'll strip out, and typically there are in several transmissions that have a specific line for reverse in that aspect, and they'll strip out and then you lose reverse.
Okay. Sun shell?
Remember the planetary?
Yeah.
Yeah. The sun shell revolves around the planetary.
Yeah.
That's where all those names came from. All right, so this is sun shell.
Sun shell.
So this is what I was referencing. These splines in here, this is a sun shell. This is out of a 4L60, okay? Very typical trans. A lot of people know what a 4L60 is. It's in like earlier Silverados. And what happened was these splines would strip out, and the sun gear that was attached that went into the planetary would strip out. There's a big drum in the center that a larger drum goes on top, splines into this, right? So this drum, which is called the reverse input, locks on. And then back here, inside the case, is the low reverse, which locks down the planetary that this splines into. So the front comes on and the back comes on, forcing the output to go the opposite direction. And that puts a lot of stress on these splines, and it was one of the weak points, and they make hardened shells that don't strip out or break. So that's just an example of how reverse works in that particular trans. And this was its weak point, and that's the kind of thing that can go bad and affect only reverse.
Oh, okay.
The whole rest of the trans will work fine. That'll just spin free every time you put it in reverse.
Okay, makes sense.
Hey.
Hey everyone, this is Dave. He's a service advisor here at Reading, and he's going to answer a few questions for us. What's the typical cost range for diagnosing this type of issue?
Costs can vary. We always start with a complimentary check, vehicle health report, thorough look over on the car, focusing on your concern so that we can pinpoint the exact problem and give you an accurate price quote.
Awesome. What kind of diagnostic tests do you run to find out why reverse isn't working?
Typically, the only thing I do for diagnosing no reverse is check the fluid, and we'll drop the pan. I'll drop the pan, and usually when there's no reverse, I have metal through the pan, something broke, it has to come out. There's no electrical test usually for the most part. Now, there's a gray area here because new transmissions do depend on solenoids for reverse and drive engagement, but a lot of the earlier stuff, it was hydraulic. You put it in reverse, that manual valve moved, it went in reverse, the reverse quit, something broke. There are solenoids that I will check and make sure that they are turning on and actuating, but for the most part, it's a physical problem.
Okay. How long does it typically take to fix a problem like this?
Well, the trans got to come out and get rebuilt, so anywhere from 2 days to a week. If it does happen to be a newer car and it is a solenoid problem, we can fix that in a day.
Oh, okay.
But generally reverse, it generally ends up being a replacement or rebuild or whatever.
Gotcha. And you guys can do that?
Absolutely, yeah. Yes, we can.
So do you offer towing if my car won't move at all?
Absolutely. With all major repairs, we offer towing services. We also have a valet service. We'll pick the vehicle up from your house, deliver it back when the repairs are done. Or if you want to drop it off yourself, we can give you a ride to home or work.
Awesome. What's the best way to prevent my car from having issues going into reverse?
Regular services and oil changes. That's all you can really do. Like when it comes to this, when it's a weak point, it's just, it's hard to prevent without pulling out and changing it. So, but still, keeping everything nice and clean is the best bet.
It's a crown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's greasy.
So if you're experiencing any of the issues we discussed today, like your car going into reverse or any TCM issues, you can definitely bring your car here to Lead Myles, and we'll be able to take a look at it for you and help you get the proper diagnosis with our tools and training. We have 4 locations now in the Berks County area: Reading, Birdsboro, Sinking Spring, and now Wyomissing. Give us a call or check us out online today. Bye-bye.